Okay, so just going through the perimeter area and volume test. So the diagram shows a rectangular piece of cardboard with a triangular section cut out. So this bit is cut out. Calculate the area of the cardboard. Okay, so my rectangle is 8 by 12, which is 96. Triangle, area for a triangle, half base by perpendicular height. Okay, so half of 8, because if that's 8, that's 8. Perpendicular height is 9, which gives 36. So 96 take 36 leaves you with 60 centimeters squared. Make sure to put in your units in these questions. The volume of a cylindrical 10 of beans of height 10 centimeters is 490 pi centimeters cubed. Find the radius of the cylindrical 10. A lot of you are dropping the pi. The pi is part of the answer. Okay? So volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. So pi r we're looking for, and height is 10. Okay? Equals 490 pi. Keep the pi there. So then r, to keep r on its own, you divide by 10 and pi over here. Enter your calculator and you get r squared equals 49. How do you find r when you have r squared? It's square root. Square root is the opposite of squaring. So r is 7. So your radius of your cylinder is 7. A dartboard fits exactly inside a square of area 1,600 centimeters squared. Find the length of a side of the square. So this is the area of this was 1,600, so it would have been length by length. So L by L is 1,600. So you can call it L or X. So X squared equals 1,600. X is square root of 1,600, so X is 400. So that's the length of one side of the square. Calculate the area of the shaded part of the diagram. So looking, the shaded part is just out here. So we want to get the area of the circle. We found out that this is 40. So that means this line straight across here is 40. So my radius is half of that, which is 20. Okay. So the square minus the circle. We know the square is 1,600. Circle is pi r squared, where my radius is 20. So just that minus that into your calculator. It's said to the nearest centimetre squared. Make sure you're giving your answer in the form they're asking it for. So 343.36. The nearest centimetre would be 343. The diagram shows the plan of a playground. Bill is going to cover the playground with tarmac. It costs $9.35 to cover each square metre with tarmac. Work out the total cost of the tarmac Bill needs. Okay, so first we need to figure out the area that he's covering. So this bit has gone out of it. So you could have done it two ways. You could have got the big rectangle and taken away this triangle, or you could have split it down here and split that into a square and a triangle. Whatever way you do it, just be careful you're doing it right. A lot of you are not using formula for triangles, you're just doing length by width. Formula for a triangle is half base by perpendicular height. Okay, so 16 by 12 will give you the full rectangle. And then to get rid of this rectangle here, it's a half 8 by 6. Okay, so you get 192 minus 24, which leaves you with 168 meters squared. Now work out the total cost of tarmac. So that's what he needs to cover. It's $9.35 per square meter. So 168 multiplied by 9.35 gives you 1,570 euros and 80 cents. So a trick in maths is always to read your question, start it, and then read it again to make sure you've answered what they're asking, and in the form they've asked as well. Okay, a vitamin capsule is in the shape of a cylinder with hemispherical ends. The length of the capsule is 20 millimeters and the diameter is 6 millimeters. Okay, so it's got two hemispheres, which means it's a full circle. All right, this is 6, which means the radius of this thing is 3. That's a radius from there to there. That's also a radius from there to there, so that's 3. And the same at the other end, that's 3. So the height of my cylinder is 20, take away 3, which is 14. Okay, so I have a cylinder of radius 3 and height 14, and I have a full sphere because I can put them together because we're talking about volume here. Alright, volume of a sphere with radius 3. So cylinder formula is pi r squared h, sphere formula is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Fill in your numbers, so 3 goes in there, 14 goes in there, 3 goes in there, into your calculator, and it says to the nearest millimetre cubed. So again, 508.93, nearest millimetre is 509 millimetres squared. Cubed, sorry. We're talking about volume. Okay, so we're still on the same question. A course of these vitamins consists of 24 capsules. The capsules are stacked in 3 rows of 8 in a box as shown. Okay, so each of these is 6. So 6, you've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 6 by 8 is 48. And then again, it's 6 this way too. And you've 1, 2, 3. So 6 by 8 is 18. And remember, the height of the capsule, if we just stand it up on its end, is 20 from end to end. So the height of the box has to be 20. So it's 48 by 18 by 20. Alright, that's the volume of the box, but it says how much of the internal volume of the box is not occupied by the capsules. So the volume of the box is 20 by 48 by 18, which is 17,280. We found out in the last part that the volume of each capsule is 509, and there's 24 of them, so 509 by 24 gives you this. So when you take that from that, then that gives you the part of the box that's not occupied. So 5,064 millimetres cubed is not occupied. Okay, a spherical golf ball has a diameter of 4 centimetres. Find the volume of the golf ball in terms of pi. So again, diameter, half it is your radius. A golf ball is spherical, so volume of a sphere, 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Fill in your 2, enter your calculator. In terms of pi means leave pi in the answer. Excuse me, 32 over 3 pi centimetres cubed. A cylindrical hole in the golf course is 10 centimetres in diameter and 12 centimetres deep. Okay, so your radius is 5. Calculate the volume of water in the hole. Sorry, the hole is half full of rainwater. So the full thing is 12, but it's only half full, so it's 6. So volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. 5 is your radius, 6 is your height, into your calculator, again in terms of pi, 150 pi. The golf ball is dropped into the hole. Find the rise in the level of water correct to 2 decimal places. So the volume of the cylinder, which height we don't know, is equal to the volume of the golf ball. So pi r squared h is equal to 32 over 3 pi from the first part. My radius is still 5. The height of the water risen, we don't know. So we're keeping h on its own. We're dividing this by this. Enter your calculator. And it says correct to 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places means keep 2 digits after the decimal point. So 0.426. You cut it off here, but you look at this one. If this is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, this one goes up by 1. Okay, so it's 0.43. And the last question. A circular helipad or helicopter landing area has a radius of 11 metres. Find correct the nearest metre squared area of the helipad. So that's straightforward. It's just area of a circle, pi r squared. Into your calculator, and it's to the nearest metre. So again, 380.13 becomes 380. And find correct the nearest metre squared, the shaded area of the helipad in the diagram below. So here we're talking about shaded area of a sector. Okay, so the formula is theta over 360 pi r squared. So theta is just the angle, 360 is 360, pi is pi, r is your 11, enter your calculator, and again, correct to the nearest metre. Just make sure you're giving your answer in the form they wanted. Okay.